But when I heard the stuff with Ronda, and the one thing that always kind of irks me is the word fake. Entertainment, I can deal with. Entertaining, showman. I can deal with so
Well,
many.
this is my a feeling on it when I hear the word fake, and I get offended when I hear the word fake. When someone's like, "Oh, you do that fake stuff," but here's the thing: it's not fake because the physicality of it is very real. Is it predetermined? I think everybody knows the answer to that. It's a show. But the punishment that our bodies go through on a nightly basis is not fake. There's no way to. I retired because of injuries.
Yeah.
So that shows you how fake it is. It's a work. It's not fake. It's a work. There's a difference, and that's my opinion on it.
Well, I mean, you say it's a movie fake, is Shakespeare on Broadway. Is that fake? I look at it, from so many different perspectives, and I've never looked at wrestling as being fake. And I always, refer back to, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. When I first saw those guys go out and, man, they performed at the highest level. And they made me believe that it was as real as I wanted it to be at that moment. And that's what professional wrestling is. And
it's an escape. It's an escape.
It really is.
If it's you're taking the audience on a journey. The peaks and valleys of a match. The goal is to play on every single emotion that they have in their body and have it play out in front of them in your match and have them get lost in that. And that's where you get your reactions from because they're emotionally invested in what you're doing, like a good movie, like a play, like any form of good entertainment.
Brad probably got that clip as far as exactly what she said as far as wrestling being fake and this and that and whatnot. But what irks me more than anything about the comments is, someone like Ronda Rousey. I mean, she was great at what she did. She put women on the map as far as UFC goes and women in mixed martial arts go. I mean, she really brought that to the forefront. And it was a great thing. But to exit the way she did on two, dramatic losses, one against Holly Holmes, one against Amanda Nunes, be that as it may, it is what it is. And then to be accepted into the wrestling world and then to have to go out there and perform with all of those ladies in the locker room that she performed with. It's a slap in the face to each and every one of those ladies that went out there and had to work with her and make her, because I remember winning the title from you. And I know I couldn't have looked good winning the championship if you didn't go out there and make me look as good as I did. That's what we do for each other. And then to slap all those ladies in the face that made her look so good after receiving that check from this fake business, a check that, like I say, being put in a position where she was the, women's champion. She was, in the main event at WrestleMania. That speaks volume. And there's so many ladies in that locker room that really work really, really hard, work their asses off to actually get to that spot like a Nia Jax. That never had got that kind of praise since she'd been there. And then someone walked from outside inside to this world and get it. It really is a slap in the face. And I just think Ronda, she needs to apologize first and foremost because it was, I'm like this here. My mama told me a long time ago, if you ain't got something good to say about somebody, don't say nothing at all. What's your thoughts, man?
Well, I'm going to try to play, a different side of it. I do have a problem with it if of the word fake, like we talked about. I think it's like you said, degrading to the people in the locker room that she's working with. That this is their livelihood. This is all they've ever wanted to do. I'm not sure that maybe, and I don't know Ronda. I've met her a couple times, and she was very pleasant the couple times that I met her. But maybe it was one of those things where it was just a poor choice of words. Like I said, not necessarily. I know she was a fan of the wrestling business, which is why she came in, why she took it seriously. I never got the sense when she was in the ring that she showed up just to collect a paycheck. I always felt like she was trying to really be the top performer. Like I said, maybe it was a bad choice of words. Maybe something in the lingo where she maybe could have chose something better to say than fake. I mean, she was a lightning rod at times in MMA as well. She kind of played that heel type role where people didn't like her for a long time, and she knew that in a sense that was good publicity, good PR. That people were going to want to see her fight, whether she won or lost. And maybe it's the same thing here. Maybe she, who knows? I don't know if she's planning on coming back, but wait, maybe it's a way to ruffle feathers, maybe a way to get people talking. And, she was kind of playing the heel character when she stepped away. So maybe she's just adding fuel to that fire, and maybe kind of setting the table in that sense, and almost kind of reminding people that she's still here. I don't know.
I mean, people might look at it that way, but when I hear something like that, coming from someone like that, who, like I said, same way about Ronda, as far as I didn't feel like she was just, calling it in or anything like that. But since the beginning of time, I don't think this is the way we created angles. I don't think this is the way we tried to get back in the game. I don't think Ronda Rousey is the type that got to go outside of, the framework of making a phone call and say, hey guys, put me back in and we'll create something. I don't think she had to go on Opie and Anthony to say professional wrestling is fake, so I don't know. We got a term also, going into business for yourself. Maybe it was one of those things. I don't know, but it's been a lot of guys in this business, from Josh Barnett, the Ken Shamrocks, the Dan Severance, that have come to and made money off of it. And I don't think publicly they're going to go out there and bash it and say, oh, wrestling's fake. Mark Henry even made the comment to, that, she's, kind of like Kurt Angle. She's kind of like, Kurt Angle put in so much work, so much time. The guy is literally a wounded warrior walking, not from what he did in the Olympics, from what he did in this business. And I respect Kurt Angle so much for what he put in.
Well, here's the thing. I actually had Kurt's very first match ever with him after he'd probably been doing maybe training for maybe a week. And he and I went out and had a match in front of a crowd, and he was really nervous. And I think the comparisons maybe that Mark were going for there were, and I'll second this as well, as far as seeing somebody, I'd never seen anybody pick it up as fast as Kurt Angle did. And I kind of felt when I saw Ronda, it was the same type of thing. She picked it up very quick, and I thought it was also because she was a fan. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know, it was a heat of the moment and just a poor choice of words. I'm not sure exactly what it was.
Yeah.
What did y'all think though of the comment about the ungrateful fans? Because she was going out there and getting a reaction,
well,
I guess was less than desirable for her.
I think that's also kind of, to me, what made it feel like this was a kind of in character thing. Talking about the ungrateful fans, something that you would see a heel character do. And I think too, and we've seen it with before, and I think that because wrestlers across the board are so passionate, like Booker said, we're protective of what we do, we're passionate about what we do, we care about what we do, we love it so much, we get offended when people try to bash it or hurt it in any way. And you'll see sometimes, I remember Conor McGregor had said some stuff, and then what happens right away? How many wrestlers jump on Twitter? You get a reaction, and to me, that's what they're looking for when they say things like that. You're looking for that reaction, and everybody kind of falls for it hook, line, and sinker in some instances like that.
I look at instances like that, like Conor McGregor, and the situation right here, totally different, because Conor McGregor hadn't come to WWE and got a big, huge main event WrestleMania check. Got put in that position for 213 days, I think it was. Second longest reign in the women's, title reigns, so thus far. I look at that totally different, and for Ronda Rousey, the way I see it, to have come in here and collected a check and talk about us like that, that's what makes it a little bit different.
Sure.
If she hadn't come, from the UFC and was embraced by this, and now, okay, if it's a work, it's one thing, and normally I can smell a work. You know what I mean? Normally I can, but this one just does not feel like a work to me. I mean, if Ronda got me, more power to her. And I'm serious, but it just doesn't feel like it's a work. And like I say, for her to have come in and collected that check after, for many years. For many years, the MMA world they just shunned upon the wrestling world.
Mm-hmm.
They shunned upon us getting action figures.
Well, I mean, and then you see guys like Conor McGregor, like Chael Sonnen, who kind of adapt a pro wrestling personality, and they go out and they cut pro wrestling promos to sell fights. So they're watching, and they have to respect it on some level if they understand that's what's putting asses in seats.
I feel the same way. I mean, I totally understand a worker. Like I say, maybe she's working a worker. She's working a worker, man. I'll be damned, man. She's better than I thought she was, because she definitely got me on the edge of my seat. It was something that I definitely want to weigh in on as far as where's this thing going? We'll find out, I'm sure, in the weeks to come. We're going to find out exactly what's going on with Ronda Rousey. Brett, you got anything?
I mean, but is it hard, though, guys, to go out there? Y'all would know better than anybody to go out there. I mean, Book, I remember you saying when the NWO was going hot and heavy and you were the baby face and you went out there and the crowd was booing you as the baby face and getting that reaction that you weren't going after. Obviously, Ronda, at some point, she started to kind of get a different reaction than she was expecting. I didn't know if that kind of led her into saying, man, these fans are ungrateful. I'm going out there, risking my body, trying to put on a show. And then they're out there booing me. I mean, I don't know, Christian, Book, what do y'all think about that? Did you ever go out and get a reaction that, was less than desirable and made you kind of question the fans a little bit?
Now, for me, I can honestly say, like in the beginning of my career, when I first got, hot and I started getting hot, and I was a baby face. And that's why I would never, I don't care if the fans are booing me out of the arena. I'm never going to say they're ungrateful. I mean, fans are ungrateful. Yeah, they're ungrateful. They're supposed to be. but I remember, like I said, when I was hot coming up, and then I would have to wrestle, and I was a babyface, and then I would have to wrestle a babyface like Sting, or wrestle a babyface like Lex Luger. And the fans would always cheer for those guys a whole lot more than they would cheer for me, And be that as it may, why they did it. Did it bug me a little bit on the inside? Yeah, it did bug me a little bit. But I wasn't going to come out and say these damn ungrateful fans, they chose who they wanted to cheer for that night. Right. There's nothing I could do about that. You know what I mean? If I was having that kind of problem with the heels, it'll be another story.
Right. Here's my take on it. I mean, of course, when you're out there and you're like as a heel, like I did not like getting cheered whatsoever. I didn't want to have any redeeming qualities at all. But at the end of the day, silence is the enemy. When they're not reacting to you is when you have to worry. That means there's zero emotional connection. There's no connection at all to your audience. So I think it's a different day and age with social media and things like that. Obviously the styles change as we move forward here. But like I said, I just, as long as they were reacting to me, that was the big thing. I hated getting, you're obviously going out there trying to get a certain reaction. I always seem to be able to get it. I don't know. I guess I have a very punchable face or something. I had an easy time getting booed, and I think they only started to cheer for me towards the end of my career because I'd put in so much time and had so much equity kind of built up in the matches that I'd had over the years. And out of respect, they kind of cheered for me, even if they maybe begrudgingly did it. But silence is the enemy, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Muhammad Ali, he said back in the day, he used to boo him like crazy when he came to the arena. And it's just, this one lady, man, she used to like just, she used to be at every fight. She used to be at every fight, She was dressed immaculately. Used to be on the front row, and Muhammad Ali actually thought she was a fan, and he actually saw her. Got up close and personal and said, well, thank you for coming to my fights. She said, I'm not going to miss one of them because I can't wait to see him drag your black ass out of here, laying face down. But
So you're saying he had an emotional connection.
No, but Muhammad Ali said, at least you're coming to see me.
Got your money.
Exactly, man. So I'm serious, man. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like I say, I hope it's a work. More if it's not, like I say, it's only going to get more heated. If it's not, and she really think it's fake, the UFC is still there waiting. I'm sure Holly Holm is still over there waiting. I'm sure Amanda Nunes is, still waiting. Jermaine Ronda, man, I'm sure she waiting. I mean, even Cyborg over there in Bellator, if you want to make a switch, if you're looking for a fight, a real fight, you know what I mean? There's plenty of fights out there. So I just want to throw that out there, man.